there were so many things on Xbox Game Pass that were just plain wrong to me. They were just plain disgusting that I just ended up just dropping the service. Not only dropping the service, but swearing off Xbox entirely.
What's up, everybody? Guy who can't make original videos here, back with another cringy-ass video on the dark web. Yeah, I know, it's been a while since I uploaded. What's it been, like 12 days now? In case you're wondering why I didn't upload, it was because I had COVID and really didn't feel like making videos in that time. However, I did stream in that time, and, you know, if you want to watch any of the replays, you can go over to my second channel, Jordan CS2. The link to that will be in the description. If you do want to watch me stream live, I do stream every Friday and Saturday at 3:30 PM Eastern Standard Time. But anyway, this isn't about my streaming schedule and not uploading. This is about one of my all-time favorite channels to talk shit about. And that is the galaxy-brained Harman Smith. You guys all know how much I love Harman Smith. And today, he has had an even more galaxy-brained take than the last take of his I covered, which was him saying that the Elden Ring sales numbers are all fake, and it's a big conspiracy theory against Nintendo to cover up that Nintendo are the only real innovators in the gaming industry, even though they clearly aren't. But anyway, the video we're going to be looking at today is titled Nintendo Switch Online Outperforms Xbox Game Pass in spite of games journalist propaganda. And yes, this video is exactly what it sounds like. It's him trying to argue that Nintendo Switch Online, despite being an objectively worse service, is better than Game Pass. A really good service. Honestly, it's pretty funny. So, without further ado, grab some fucking popcorn, and let's play that shit.
Hello everyone, this is Cody Lee of BlackCatBooks.org, author of...
A friendly reminder that absolutely nobody with more than 2 functioning brain cells is buying Harman Smith's books. I mean, at this point I kinda just wonder what the sales figures for his books look like. Probably just as bad as my Super Thanks transaction revenue figures. No one's fucking clicking that button.
So, with the recent financial report from Nintendo, we got some interesting numbers.
Why am I not surprised that Harman Smith would read Nintendo's financial reports? Despite there literally being no benefit to him reading it since, you know, they're not giving him any money, and I highly doubt that he's an investor in Nintendo.
I think there is one glaring thing.
Oh, fuck.
That the vast majority of YouTubers...
How's it going, cutie?
Industry shills...
Yourself? Oh wait, no, calling Harman Smith a shill implies that he gets paid to do it. My mistake, he fucking wishes. I mean, it's pretty sad when there's a 17-year-old from Australia profiting more off of your own stupidity than you.
And just general observers have not really picked up on and have not really talked about.
Very sorry, Harman, but is there a pit stop between now and the fucking point?
All that much. Or if they have, they try to make it out to be, like, not a big deal, or, like, just,
Well, you know, I'd be able to tell you whether or not it's a big deal if I could actually know what this thing is that's apparently such a big deal.
Nintendo Switch Online has 32 million subscribers. 7 million more than Xbox Game Pass at 25 million.
Yeah, it's their fucking live services subscription. Of course it has a lot of subscribers. You literally need it to play online, whereas you don't need Game Pass to play online. The thing that you buy on Xbox to play online is Xbox Live Gold, which comparing that and Nintendo Switch Online would be a more fair comparison.
Now, this is a really interesting figure to me specifically.
You know, it's funny that this is the same guy who in the last video I made on him said that Elden Ring's concurrent players doesn't mean it's a good game. You know, now trying to argue that Nintendo Switch Online is better than Game Pass because it has more subscribers. It's almost like somebody can't
keep that same energy.
As I think the only YouTuber on the internet who is actively defending Nintendo Switch Online since its very inception.
Whoa, Harman, you've been defending Nintendo Switch Online since its inception? Wow, jeez. Somebody give a medal to the king of fucking dropkicks over here. I mean, this man deserves a fucking veteran's discount.
I saw people like Video Games Awesome try to write this off. I saw Angry Joe try to write this off. Like, everyone I saw, in regards to this topic, said the service was doomed to fail immediately, just because it was a Nintendo thing, right?
No, it's probably because the service is complete arse, since all you get is the ability to play online, and a bunch of old SNES games, which, while they might be good, can literally be emulated on any computer you can think of for free. Like, at least with Xbox Gold and PS Plus, they offered you some semi-recent games to download every month. With that, you're just getting old games that Nintendo can't make money from anymore.
And now, years later, after the introduction of Xbox Game Pass, these very same people came out in droves to try and tell their audience that, like, oh man, Xbox Game Pass, it's such a good deal, it's so affordable, it's the Netflix of gaming, it's going to change the gaming industry.
I mean, they were right, bro. It is affordable, and it did change the gaming industry. I mean, not only has the service boosted game sales for games on the service, but it has made games more affordable and more widely available, which has also made it easier for many indie developers to get their work out and get more people to play their games. Which I think everyone could agree, gaming being more affordable and indie developers being able to profit more from their work is a win-win.
Well, guess fucking what?
No bitches?
Nintendo Switch Online is outperforming Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah, in subscribers, and literally nothing fucking else. In every other measure, Game Pass is still an objectively better service. I mean, still, they're completely different services, and in all honesty, comparing them is kind of stupid. It's like comparing Halo 2 and Elden Ring. Like, they're completely different goddamn games.
It's safe to say that Nintendo's strategies of, like, putting DLC in the expansion pass, N64 games, like game trials, like all of these things have been a massive, massive success to drive sales and drive subscribers.
Oh my god, it's all those things, like the Nintendo 64 games, which can be emulated on literally every computer. It's definitely not the fact that you need it to play online, meaning that you can't play with your friends if you don't have it. Although I don't really expect Harman Smith to be able to relate to that, since I don't really expect him to have many or any friends.
Meanwhile, Xbox, if anything, alienated its audience.
Oh really? They alienated their audience. Yes. 25 million subscribers. Yeah, that's an alienated audience. Legitimately, everyone can agree that Game Pass is a good service. Even people that don't have Game Pass can agree with that. The only people that dislike Game Pass are fanboys like yourself, who don't even own an Xbox or a PC, so I don't exactly think that you would be in Xbox's target audience.
I myself canceled my Xbox Game Pass subscription because I had a lot of problems with it.
Let me guess, issue number 1, there's no Nintendo games on it. Out of all the people that shouldn't have an opinion on Game Pass, I think we can effectively say that Harman Smith would be close to the top of that list. Like, yeah, no shit, he's not gonna like Game Pass. It's not Nintendo.
Like, I didn't like their library.
I mean, of course you didn't like their library. There's no fucking Nintendo games.
I didn't like the way the service worked.
I'm sorry, what? He didn't like the way the service worked? What the fuck does that even mean? The service literally works that you pay $10 a month and you get a bunch of games. By that fucking logic, you don't like the way that Nintendo Switch Online works.
I didn't like the price point.
Dude, the price point is literally the best part of Game Pass. $10 a month is basically a fucking steal for all the games that you get on it. Not to mention, you can get your first month of Game Pass for literally $1. So, like, you know, I don't think the price of Game Pass is really that bad.
Like, there were so many things on Xbox Game Pass that were just plain wrong to me. They were just plain disgusting.
Bro, you couldn't even give a good reason as to why Game Pass is a bad service. Literally everything you've said is basically just it isn't Nintendo.
That I just ended up just dropping the service. Not only dropping the service, but swearing off Xbox entirely. Does that sound like a successful platform to you?
Yes. I don't know if you would know this, Harman, but just because you don't like a platform doesn't mean it can't be successful. It's like I can talk about how much I dislike Skyrim. Doesn't mean it's not an insanely popular game that obviously a lot of people like. It's almost like the world doesn't revolve around you, no matter how cool and awesome you are. You know, at this point, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Harman Smith thought the entire world revolved around him.
Does that sound like something that's maintainable?
Yes, Game Pass is sustainable. They've literally said it a bunch of goddamn times.
And in this day and age, right, with Netflix going up in price, up in price, up in price, I think it's safe to say that it's inevitable that the same thing will happen to Xbox Game Pass.
Okay, but even if Xbox Game Pass goes up in price to like $15 a month, or $20 a month, it's still a very good deal, because you're still getting thousands of dollars worth of games.
I don't think Microsoft is actually making a profit on Game Pass.
No, Phil Spencer has said that Game Pass is profitable. Sure, we can speculate that it might not be profitable from just the subscription revenue, but you've got to keep in mind that Game Pass also boosts game sales, which means that they would be making money off of that as well.
And the only reason they're putting so much support behind it is because they really have nothing else.
You do realize Microsoft is a multi-billion-dollar company, and the purpose of a company is to make money. I think if Game Pass wasn't making them money, they would probably just not have it.
Meanwhile, Nintendo Switch Online is working in conjunction with their general service of like being able to buy and play digital and physical video games, right?
I'm sorry, what? You do realize that Game Pass literally incentivizes buying games because they offer a discount on all of the games on their service if you want to buy them so that you can keep them even when you don't have Game Pass.
Improves the infrastructure. It improves the community. It is generally a good thing to see Nintendo Switch Online be as successful as it has.
Everything you just mentioned, Game Pass does as well. Like, I don't understand what the complaint is here. I mean, seriously, this is how you know you've got someone who just has no idea what the fuck they're talking about.
Like, it's giving kids the opportunity to play NES or Super Nintendo games they never would have experienced otherwise.
Have you heard of emulation?
It's like, fanboys are
Yourself?
people who grew up being told that, like, the N64 didn't have any games are discovering that, holy shit, Yoshi's Story is actually pretty good. Sin and Punishment is a classic.
And there are a lot of good games on Game Pass as well. Some of which could be considered classics. Like, sure, there's a lot of games to appreciate on both services. My issue is that Harman has obviously completely disregarded all of the games on Xbox Game Pass simply for the fact that they aren't old Nintendo games. I mean, really, I kind of doubt that he's even played any of the games on Game Pass, because notice throughout this entire video that, you know, he won't mention a single game that he's played on Game Pass.
The reasons to subscribe to Nintendo Switch Online are just accumulating and building up to the point where, like, $50 a year seems like an absolute steal compared to Microsoft's, what is it, like $120 a year for fucking Game Pass?
$120 a year is more than worth it for the content that you get on Game Pass. I mean, I really gotta ask Harman, did you actually play any of the games on Game Pass? Or did you just see that they weren't Nintendo games and go like, oh yeah, don't care?
My advice to Xbox gamers, those of you who are still, like, foolish enough to buy into the Xbox ecosystem, just buy the games. Like, why subscribe to this paltry service?
Well, Harman, maybe not everybody can afford to just buy the games, because maybe they don't have enough money. Maybe Game Pass is just a good way for a lot of people, specifically people with low income, to be able to try games without having to pay full price and still support the developers. Honestly, wouldn't be surprised if Harman were to pull out the "just stop being poor" line. But anyway, that's where Harman's dumpster fire of a video ends, so that's where this video ends. If you did enjoy, leave a like. If you're new to the channel, why not subscribe, turn on those post notifications, join the Jordan Cino army. Follow me on Twitter at JordanCSNo, subscribe to my second channel, JordanCS2. Links to both of those will be in the description. Please don't send any hate over to Harman Smith, it's really unneeded. But that's all for today's video, so until the next one, piss off.